Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, Democrat of New York, sometimes I call him Charles Schumer by mistake, because a lot of these articles like to formalize his name, said in an interview published Friday that he supports measures to allow Medicare to negotiate drug prices, as well as lowering the Medicare eligibility age and creating a public health insurance option. The comments from Schumer give important backing to a push from progressives who have been calling for a range of major healthcare reforms from President Biden, including in his next major economic package, which he laid out for Congress during a joint address on Wednesday night. I didn't watch that speech because I mean, it's the same crap. Schumer specifically pointed to conversations he has had with Senator Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders and I agree on this, Schumer told the Inc. I believe we should be negotiating. We just talked about this at some length. He and I must talk almost every single day. Medicare negotiating with the drug companies and using that money to expand Medicare. Asked about reducing the Medicare eligibility age or a public option to compete alongside private health insurers for people of all ages, Schumer replied, yeah, I'd be for either of those, both of those. He left some wiggle room, however, on how exactly the measure would move through Congress or whether they would receive a vote in the Senate. Well, we're going to push it, he said. It's too early. I want to pass the biggest, boldest bill that, of course, we can't pass. And we've got to figure out all that out. We're going to try to fight. We're going to try to fight hard to try to get these in the bill. So let me explain why this is irritating. A common theme among politicians that are not explicitly right wing, like Manchin, Cinema, but are also not really that left wing either, is to invoke Sanders as a way of trying to appeal. Like they think that if they mention his name to people that are progressive, they're going to be like, oh man, this person's progressive too. I'm going to support them. You saw the same thing done with Klobuchar. Schumer's doing it right here. But we talked about how one of the frustrations that a lot of progressives have is this idea that the politicians who seem to try to claim to be on your side with respect to certain positions, like a public option, which still isn't even as far as people would like to go, um, they do a lot of, what's a way of saying it, trying to convince you that, oh, don't worry, next year we'll get it, and then this year we'll get it. I remember when, not, what was it, 5 months ago, Biden was running for president and he talked about, in my first 100 days, we're going to do this, my first 100 days, we're going to do that. And you're already seeing the gradual slowing of the things that are supposedly urgent. Over Trump's tenure, we had 30,000 people get kicked off their health insurance when he, got rid of the individual mandate for Obamacare. And it's really insane to see these Democrats who were criticizing that particular thing now telling us, "Oh, don't worry, uh, we're gonna figure all these things out, and you know, we're gonna. It's too early." And I feel like I've been hearing, even though this is something Schumer just recently said since the interview that came out on Friday, I believe I've been hearing that line by politicians for over 10 years. You know, look at the minimum wage battle. Oh, you want 15 to be national? Oh, that's too early. Oh, maybe in like 10 years, even though it's already been 10 years since there's been a wage increase. They just love doing this. They tell you to get that, oh, we'll get to this just at an indefinite time. I would fully be willing to bet, and I hope I'm wrong because I don't like being proven right about things that are crappy, that Biden can be in office for 4 years or 8 years, but more so probably 4 years. I don't think he's going to run in 2024. And you will not see Schumer ever bring up what is the thing he proposed? He wants a bill that has, okay, this, he's saying it's too early now, right? Mark my words, between April, the start of May now, but it was, like late April of 2021 to January of 2025, you are not going to see Schumer put up a bill that allows Medicare to negotiate drug prices and lowers the Medicare eligibility age and creates a public health insurance option, because he's all talk and no action. He's trying to appeal to people by giving them some lip service, but never actually doing anything to fight. If he was a fighter, he would tell Manchin and Cinema and the rest of those Democrats that are trying to toe the party line to actually support something that the majority of his party wants.